These are but some of the decks that you should be playing in Pokemon Pocket when Ranked hits our shores very, very soon. What up, peeps? Nuggie here, and welcome to today's video of what deck should you be playing for the upcoming season of Ranked in Pokemon Pocket. Now, there are a bunch of decks that are now being built all over the place, but I thought it'd be best with this current season, with the mini expansion here, just to categorize them into three different areas, which is the old decks, which is still working just fine, the new decks that come with the new set, as well as spicy decks. That's not necessarily any of the new cards, but some type of combination that you didn't see before that you can now see and use in the current meta. And with this, as I said, there's a lot of them that you can choose from, but we're going to try and choose maybe 2 or 3 of the most popular ones that you see in the current meta right now in tournaments and everything. And we'll go over a few of them, but probably with the old ones, not too much, but at least with the new ones, so you can understand what's changing and see how you can tailor your gameplay into the ranked season. Alrighty, I just thought we'd go ahead and start with the new first, just because you can kind of see what's new in the current meta with all the cards that we have here. And this deck here was created by Sigan, who is a very popular top 10, top 1, consistently ranked in Pokemon Pocket from Japan. And he created this deck that a lot of people gravitated towards. And you can see that there's a lot of cards here that is not necessarily new, but what is new is this Juliana right here, which allows you to draw a stage 2 Pokemon from your deck. Now, you notice that he only uses one Blaziken, but it's used to grab either the Greninja or Blaziken here, and it's just ruthless, because you can use the cast form with the stadium, whether it's yours or the opponent's, to do that extra damage with burn. You use Greninja, of course, is here till the dawn of time, is like just being able to ping everything, which is really annoying. And then you finish off with the Mega Blaziken there with the high health pool. And this is like it's in a way a high roll kind of deck, because you got to get the pieces, but you have the stores like Heatmore to help poke the bench. You've got the cast form for the front, and then you can just steady and use the Torchic as either a battering shield while you build the Blaziken. But overall, it's done really, really well in tournaments, and it's kind of snuffed out a lot of the grass type decks that were dominating in the early part of the tournament scene. So this is definitely something that I would give it a go for ranked, and you guys should as well. Now, the next one we're going to go ahead and bring upon you guys, which is in a way a little bit depressing, but you know what it is. It's going to be this new Espeon deck. And when I say new Espeon, it's Alt Sleep Scam Espeon. Where is it? Here. We have a little sad face here. And this is just built purely to show you guys this is one of the most popular decks right now, just because it's just fast and the potential to scam someone from turn 1, whether it's Igglybuff or on your turn 2, you can quick evolve into the Espeon, do 40 plus a Darkrai bench, which is 60 damage to get rid of the bench. It's just ruthless. This here, like, it's crazy that one card can just upgrade a Sleep Scam deck, but essentially Espeon here for 90 hit points, quick evolve, and you just have so many avenues of sleep, whether it's the Swablu, Iggly, or Espeon here. So this one here, very quick games, great to go, GG go next kind of games. So this is definitely going to be in a lot of the ranking scenes, so watch out for this one here. And last but not least, it is an upgraded version, I would say, of the Magnezone deck. So there are a lot of variations to a lot of these decks as you see, but especially for Miraidon, there's some that uses 2 Miraidon, some that uses 1, but we're showcasing the new here because this deck is one of the more popular ones. It uses the strength of Zeraora to try and get your early energy. And for Miraidon, for those of you guys that don't know, let me try and use this one because it's pretty. Basically, when you drop this on the field, it will collect all the energy that is in play on your side of the field, push it to the Miraidon here, and be able to do 20 plus however many energy it's collected on its way. So here it's not actually 60 here, it's going to be 80 damage because of the 20 plus, and then for every subsequent energy after that as well. So this on turn 3, like if you look at the deck here, You can start off with Zeraora and get that charge in, or if you're lucky enough, turn 3 to Clement, Magneton, Pokeball into Miraidon, straight away KO whatever's in the front. And this is a deck that can either start really fast or has that delayed gratification later on in the late game that can hold its own. And if you're ever in trouble, you do have that one copy of Magnezone to help stall or even be the game changer, since Magnezone's ability is quite amazing for the deck. So these are the current new decks that will definitely be dominating the scene. So let's go over and look at the old decks, which I think a few of you guys want to see, especially those who didn't like the current expansion, to see what you can do to beat the current new meta. We're in a really good part of the meta right now where there's always going to be counters to every deck that comes out that becomes meta. So there is no one universal deck that is the best out of them, or there's always something that can beat it. And the more cards there are in the current set of Pocket, then the more decks you can build and counter, and just overall it comes to luck whatever you're going to verse. But with this one, we're going to start off with the Baxicalibur Suicune deck. Now this deck, it's still one of my favorites to this day, is one of the most consistent decks out there, and it's not too daunting to play. You can grab your cards, but it can overall hold its own against many of its opponents. Now with the Miraidon effect coming into play, that does hurt it a lot, but throughout all the other decks out there, this can go toe-to-toe with them. But with this one here, there's no real new cards. Now I know some people did try to add in like a Juliana instead of one of the copycats, but I believe with stats that we were shown and everything, the double copycat is still infinitely better than the Juliana as a tester here. But this basically has everything you need. You can field blower either tools or stadiums. You can cape and tank up a bit more, just so that you can protect your chin power to do the finishing blow wherever it is needed. Now the other old deck that we have coming up right here is going to be the good old classic Hydreigon deck. Now there are again many variants to this form, as you guys know, and I'm just going to put up one that I haven't even changed at all. You can see it's from the 3B set. This is it. Like, you can probably get rid of the Lucky Ice Pop or whatnot here, but the Bombardier from the previous set is extremely useful for this. You just get to building, tanking, and swing ASAP before they can build up their board. So this, not much to say, is still relevant to this day, and we'll see how this goes in the current season. Now it was obviously in the past very heavy, but now that we have all different types of things, I think it's now much more in an even spread with all the other decks that are being that are involved. So the last one of the old one that I want to show you that is probably the most popular here, and is in a way a returning one, strange to say, but it's gonna be the Mega Manetric. Now it has been shown, again there are a few slight variances to this, but this version can kind of go really well against the other Miraidon decks. Like the Miraidon can't keep up with decks with the Mega Manetric here, just because if you are able to get an early KO and whatnot, you'll be able to do significant damage with the Mega Manetric. So this here, again, nothing really new with what you see, but it's able to go up against Sleep Scam as well. Just to be able to shift in and out. The threshold damage for what it provides is really good, and this is relatively a quick deck to play as well. So I think right now with the old decks here, these three are most likely going to be the popular ones in my opinion. So you know, this is just for what I believe is going to be popular, and see how you go through from there. But with the last one here, let's show you guys some spicy decks in case you don't want to play meta. You're like me and you want to play a bit of off meta. We're going to show you a few decks there that you guys can try, because they are fun to play. They're the most fun to play, I would say, when you're voicing something that's meta. And so let's get right on to it. These decks here are the most fun decks, I would say, that if you want to kind of have fun, whether you're just casual or even if you want to go hardcore into a fun mode in the ranked scene, this deck here is the Spicy Iron deck, where you've got a lot of the cards like Iron Valiant, Iron Leaves, Iron Boulder, and Iron Crown. Now, what makes this pretty effective, and it does do well in tournaments, and we have seen it win 1 or 2 tournaments in the previous few weeks of Pocket in the ranked down season, that basically the Iron Valiant is the key to everything. The Plaza is very, very important to have, so you can kind of switch around the Pokemon you need if you start with Iron Valiant and everything. But the good thing about this deck is that it's very hard to brick, and you can be aggressive straight on the get-go. If you're versing like a Sleep Scam and they basically put the whole team on the board, the Iron Crown here with the double Iron Valiant, or even just 1 Iron Valiant with 1 energy on the Iron Crown, can do significant damage, especially with the capsule. It will punch it up to 90, which essentially one-shots anything in its path. The Turo there can save you from bricking or from conceding a point to the opponent and bringing in something else to attack. Iron Leaves for the revenge KO, and Iron Boulder right here is your main source of damage dealer, as this one at its full capacity will be able to do upwards of 140 damage with the capsule there. So it is able to steal games, and I would say that this deck here is one of the faster decks that you can play in the season. It's very fun, so I totally recommend you guys to try it out and see where you go with it. Now, the next one is a pretty cool one. I think Tilly made the deck here. I remember watching it on his channel, and if you don't know Tilly TCG, please go just give him a quick shout out because he's really cool, and he always creates unique things as well. But I think it's this one. Is it this one? Yes, it is this one here. We are going over to the Walking Wake. Now, I'm sorry, but for anyone that thought Raging Bolt was relevant, I still can't see it right now. I don't know why so many people got hyped up over something that was insane, but the Walking Wake I can get behind. This card here with the Walking Wake is pretty unique. It's basically you discard an energy that you can choose from out of the 2 here, and you can do 20 damage to each of your opponent's bench. Now, what you do with this one here, you don't necessarily have to use Walking Wake to have like a dual energy here. You can just start with Fire, because what you do here is that if you start with Mantike or whatnot, you can transfer energy to any of the basics that are available, and if they get knocked out, you do have the Sada card here to bring back the water energy to use for Walking Wake. But the purpose of this is to try and set up your Walking Wake, but hopefully to be able to attack and do 60 to the active and 20 to the bench, and then you can finish up with the Flareon here, because it'll be able to collect the fire energy that Walking Wake discards, and you can swing for upwards of 100 and up to 150 damage if you want to. But overall, this deck it just felt really nice, and it reminds me of the days when Leafeon and Flareon were paired together. So I would recommend you guys to try this deck, get used to it. You might not need to use the Ogerpon, but it's really, really handy to have against any sort of status effects Pokemon that is in your path. But overall, this deck I thought was a lot of fun, and it uses a combination of the Area Zero as well for the stadium to cycle out through your Pokemon. So recommending this one for sure. And last but not least, I had to put it in just to give it our own flex here, and it was used heavily in the previous set, but I didn't really showcase it as much. But this is the one that got me to top 1k pretty well. There are a lot of variants to it, and it's going to be this Giratina Flygon deck. This one, I would say, in a lot of ways is the most consistent. I am brewing on something else, but that's probably just going to be for fun. This one here, because you have the Giratina, you'll be able to charge both at the same time. So in case you are bricking on energy with a Flygon, at least what Flygon does with the Sand Slammer is be able to do 10 damage to all of the opponent's Pokemon in the field, and that gives you enough damage threshold to maybe go in and swing with Giratina should you need to do so. This is one of the more daring ones, so I wouldn't recommend this one to all of you guys, but if you want to give this a go, feel free to give it a shot. But that's about it for all the decks here, guys. So if you enjoyed everything here, these are the decks that I would probably play for ranked myself, and hopefully you do as well. But if you like it, feel free to subscribe and comment below on what deck you are going to be playing in this season's ranked. And until then, I'll see you on the next one.